What is going on, guys? Welcome into Engage 8. We are coming to you live pretty much right after Lions-Chiefs. We got a very interesting game to talk about there. Then we also had some contract news break right before kickoff that came from Cincinnati, so we'll talk about that towards the end. We've only got 8 minutes, so let's hustle along here, and we'll jump right into it with Chiefs-Lions, with the defending champions taking the L from Detroit. The Lions win 21-20. A lot to talk about here. I think it was a pretty sloppy game on both sides of the ball for both teams. Kansas City has no Chris Jones, no Travis Kelce, and nobody else. Tonight was a bit of a disaster in the wide receiver, really the pass-catching department. Specifically, Kadarius Toney had a really rough night, had at least 3 drops that I can remember off the top of my head. Maybe he had more. I mean, if this is what it's going to be for a couple weeks, Chiefs might be in trouble.
Yeah, and if you drafted Toney or Sky Moore and you were hoping for wide receiver 3, maybe flex appeal there, I mean, this is what we're going to see week in and week out, I feel. Where is it Rashee Rice? Is it Justin Watson? Is it MVS? Is it Sky Moore? Is it Toney? It's just going to be around a roulette every single week with which wide receiver steps up. And, yeah, Toney, like we talk about his drops, but even when he was getting the ball and when they did an end around to him or a wide receiver screen, he was just getting bottled up by the defense. He had no confidence, and you wonder if this dates back to him missing pretty much all of training camp and all of preseason, and maybe that has an effect because he's not caught up to speed. But on the other end of the spectrum, like we were talking about with Sky Moore's another guy that the Chiefs have high hopes for, and he was dropping passes left and right too. So I know they spent a second-round pick on Rashee Rice, and they're hoping for big things from him, but man, if you're a Chiefs fan, you got to be concerned. I mean, you're going to get Kelce back. That Mahomes-Kelce chemistry is going to be there. That ain't ever going to go away. They're going to be the best duo, probably in the NFL again. But outside of that, when you're looking for other options, few and far between.
Yeah, and I mean, the easy response is, well, we just won a Super Bowl with some porous wide receivers, and yeah, Juju was there, and now he's not. But generally, this is the formula for the Chiefs, at least for the foreseeable future. I don't think, every year until they happen to get a guy, first round mock, they're going to pick a wide receiver in the 30s. Wherever they're picking, all the mock drafts are going to have them taking a wide receiver. I just don't think they're going to take one. I think they're going to have Kelce here, but like you said about people like looking for Toney or looking for Sky Moore to give you that wide receiver 3 value, that's going to be the case. It's just going to be whoever scores a touchdown in which week. I don't think there's ever going to be a guy that's going to consistently get 6 or more catches in this wide receiver room. Even when Kelce's back, that was always the case of people trying to find the wide receiver 1. I said it when we were doing the Chiefs Power Rankings episode. If you're trying to pick the Chiefs wide receiver 1, just pick Travis Kelce, because you're really not going to pick the right one here. And we saw that tonight because a lot of people's choice was Kadarius Toney, and even though he got the looks, could not convert on any of them.
The other thing really quickly is you talk about that Super Bowl last year. Juju Smith-Schuster was on that team too, and they lost him, and they replaced him with Rashee Rice. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But he had some very big moments for the Chiefs last year, and I think he is going to be missed more than Chiefs fans ever thought. And we heard the talks of maybe DeAndre Hopkins coming in or maybe another wide receiver coming in. That never came to fruition. So I agree with you. I don't see them drafting a wide receiver next year, and I think they're going to roll with what they've got.
Yeah, and then, on the defensive side of the ball, Chris Jones up in the press box, not on the field tonight. And for what it's worth, Detroit did run the ball a lot and well. And,
a lot of that was through the middle with Montgomery because Jones was out. I know you're a Gibbs lover, and I know you want to hop into Gibbs.
Sakes, man.
And to the naked eye, you see him get the ball, and he's like, man, he's bouncing off tackles, getting 15, 20 yards a carry, it seemed like. And it's like, why do we keep going back to this guy, Montgomery? I know he's a rookie and you want to ease him in, but, man, the guy is so much more explosive and just a better football player than David Montgomery.
David Montgomery had 21 carries tonight. His longest run was 8 yards. 8.
You said he was running through mud.
It literally looks like he's running through mud. He had 21 carries for 74 yards. He does get in the end zone, so if you happen to start him, good for you. But 3.5 yards a carry. Jahmyr Gibbs, though, it sucks with the usage. If you have Jahmyr Gibbs, you have mixed feelings about tonight because while he didn't see the field as much as he should have, he looked fantastic when he did. And that's why you're so upset.
In the small amount of playing time that he got, he made the most of it.
Yeah, because you look at Montgomery, and he didn't play that well. He just played a lot. But Gibbs, man, looks really good. It felt like every time he got the ball, something crazy was going to happen. It felt like he broke 2 tackles every time he touched it.
Also, I think if you spent, late first, early second round value on a guy like Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think you're very happy with
Oh
what you
yeah.
saw tonight. He had 9 targets, I think 6 catches, 70, 80 yards and a touch. So you got to be happy with the performance there from Amon-Ra. Other fantasy guys that stood out, Goff had 250. So, if you started him in a 2 quarterback league or something, you probably like what you got out of there. And I think with Mahomes, nothing to worry about. He's going to be fine. There were so many drops tonight. If half of those are caught, he has probably close to 250 or 300 yards.
Yeah, and another guy to be excited about a little bit, the rookie tight end thing
I
gets
was
talked
going to
about a
say,
lot. Sam Laporta gets 5 targets, hauls in all 5 of them for 39 yards, so very good on him. Really quickly, and then we'll go on to the contract news that we had. More worried about the Chiefs or more excited about the Lions?
um, I don't think this game really told me all that much as far as the exciting part from the Lions. Like, I think the Lions are still going to be good, but they showed a lot of vital flaws, fumbling in the red zone. I mean, let's talk about Dan Campbell going for it on 4th and 2 inside your own 20. If that doesn't go right, you hand the Chiefs at least 3 points and you lose. Like, I mean, that is a total gamble way early in the game that I could not believe he did. I would say I'm probably a little bit more worried about the Chiefs. And the reason being is because Chris Jones doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon. And if you get a team that's got a physical bruising bell cow back that can run it up the middle, you're going to be in trouble in those games. I know Kelsey's going to come back, but man, you've got some worry at these receiver positions. The offensive line was good, but my God, Taylor was getting away with a false start every single play, or he wasn't even lined up on the line of scrimmage. So that's got to be called, in my opinion, if you're a referee. I think there's a lot to worry about from the Chiefs. I think there's more negatives to take away from the Chiefs than positives from the Lions.
Yeah, and like you said, like I feel like the Lions may have gotten off easy. I mean, Kadarius Toney may have cost the Chiefs 10, 11 points tonight. Real quickly, we'll try and cover this on the back end here. Joe Burrow just ho hum gets the most expensive NFL contract in history tonight. 5 years, $275 million. And he's probably going to have that title for a while. It was Hurts, it was Lamar, then it was Herbert, and now it is Burrow. I don't think there's anybody else up next. Tua is probably not going to break that number. And then after that, we're talking about, crazy it is to say, we're talking about maybe Trevor Lawrence next offseason. As young as his career feels.
What a troll job.
Yeah. I mean,
what a troll job by the Bengals. You know what?
Oh,
We're going to steal. We're going to wait and we're going to steal this moment on opening night from both these teams. It was 2 plays into the game when they announced the news.
This deal was done 3 days ago. Yeah.
Pelissero tweeted it 2 plays into this game.
Do you think they tweeted him or texted him and was like, "Hey, you want to just release this at 8:30 tonight?"
100%. I think that he knew ahead, and they were like, "You can do this at 8:30 or right after kickoff," and he did. And I mean, well done on the Bengals to take the spotlight, I guess, away from this game. You talked about it being a sloppy game, whatever it might be. Football's back, baby. That's all that matters. I will take a shitty game over no game for what it's worth. We have waited 7 months for an NFL game, real live action, and we got it, and I don't care how sloppy it was.
Yeah, and we have a fantastic slate on Sunday, and we're going to be breaking it all down for you in the Week 1 preview episode. Very excited for that, but we're going to get out of here to keep us under that 8-minute mark or around that 8-minute mark. But for Tyler and myself, I'm sure you'll be seeing us soon. We're out of here. Peace.